we go. Bit of stability. Good morning, Sami. I did a stream earlier, but it was too quiet. There was nobody here. America was going to sleep and Europe was still sleeping. So we're having a couple of hours chill out on the beach. First time I've actually sat underneath a palm tree here so far. Lovely clear day. You had a midsummer party yesterday in Finland. Ooh, very good. The whole country is sleeping till midday. Was it that good? We've got a lovely breeze. I could sleep here today on the beach very easily. It's not too hot. Need a deck chair though. The trunk of this palm tree is a bit hard. And I think I'll have afternoon siesta in a couple of hours. I've been in the park today and... Hey Defro, welcome back. Are you okay? I was in the park earlier and they've got the monkey traps out, so I don't know if they're getting rid of the monkeys from the park or if they are maybe wanting to vaccinate them or give them a health check or something. I don't know. How's New Zealand? Oh, it's the biggest summer holiday in Finland, is it? Midsummer? I think I've heard of America. Or is it a film? Midsummer's Night Dream or something. I know they don't have one like that. They don't have something. I don't think they have anything like that in the UK. Cold, is it? Oh yeah, you're just coming out of winter now, right? If I remember rightly, it started warming up for us in June, but I was leaving in June for Australia, but I was there in the winter time. We had a couple of nice summer days, sunny days rather, rollerblading round Auckland Harbour. For someone to break in our bloody car and steal our trainers from the back. Oh, heading into midwinter in July. Oh, I've got it wrong. So I must have arrived in summer. No, what happened? I'm trying to think now. You're absolutely correct, I've got it totally wrong. I left Thailand in July, and landed in Auckland in June, July. That was right. Yes, and it was pretty chilly, especially after coming back from Thailand. That's right. I went to Australia late November, early December. I think it was just under 6 months total in New Zealand. 5 months working in Auckland and a month travelling around. The old mattress in the back of a one-way hire Toyota Hiace van, if I remember correctly. I think it had bed bugs as well in that mattress. We had to get some powder. Oh, got a few stories from New Zealand. So I think I'm going to be catching a tan today from the UVA rays, the rays that are not directly from the sun onto your body, as opposed to UVB. It is such a lovely breeze. It feels like in the shade here on the sea. About 27. It's actually 30 degrees at the moment. No, I would actually say about 25 with this lovely breeze. Where's the chat gone? Oh, here we go. Morning, Frasbo. Welcome back. Haven't seen you for a while. I timed it right coming back on. I was live streaming earlier, but no one came on at all. America were going to bed and the UK was still asleep. Europe, a few countries in Europe, an hour or two ahead of the UK. Yes, it is, Sami, yes. It is free. No chance, Defro. What home? It's a permanent lockdown here for Team Titastic. Other Team Titastic members are going to be coming back soon. There's going to be at least 3 coming. Watch this space. So it's the complete opposite. Oh, you had a wee spelling diagnosed with type 1? Oh my gosh. When did that happen? Recently, Brasbo, sorry to hear that. Yeah, this app will do it for you, Sami, yes. 1080p all day long. There are other ones as well. Some are a bit more problematic and seem forever to be in beta. This I found is one of the easiest ones to use. Very user friendly. They call that UX, user experience. It's got good UX. So what now with type 1 diabetes? How do you get rid of that? A lot of people tell you things like that are not reversible, right? But I know they are. Just got, Frasbo says, just got out last week. Bit of a life changer, but probably the kick in the arse I need. Yeah, it's a shame. We have to wait for the professionals to tell us the inevitable, right? I understand where you're coming from. Streamlabs. I couldn't get on with it. I didn't want to spend the time trying to learn it. I may do one day. I think you can take donations through that. I don't really get donations. Oh, people don't love me enough. Or I don't beg enough. Oh, we're having fun. Look at this weather. It's gorgeous today. Had a right old palaver yesterday. My Jesus Christ. Bloody giddy arm. I won't go into it today, but I will do one day. It's going to feature in my book. If there's anything that could go wrong, it was going wrong. Sami S has tried Streamlabs, he says it sucks. Oh, type 1 is insulin injections for life, really? Oh Jesus, sorry to hear that. Have you done your own investigation into it as well? Or are you resided to the fact that what the professionals have told you goes? Sitting under a palm tree. There you go. If you wanted to see where, a lot of people want to see where Pattaya is. There's not much happening now. It's over that hill there, over the other side. Family have just pulled up and they got a big bottle of Coca-Cola. I could just take a nice cold swig of that. Just get that sugar. I've had 1 teaspoon of sugar today, brown sugar in a coffee. Go. That's my protection so far, but that's what I'm looking at. That's my office today. Would you just look at it? Oh, is that right, Frasbo? Well, there you go. Get your skates on. Think positive. Watch, listen to, or read The Secret. Help you get in the right mindset. It all starts off in the mindset first. All starts off in the mind. That's the foundation of your success. Don't leave any room for doubt, negativity or procrastination. It is great. Ontario Productions, it is great. Thank you. Oh. You joking, Sammy? Stop it. Are you joking me? In fact, I bought this for 14 baht. Well, I'm definitely going to be drinking that first. Keep my fluids up. Thank you so much, Sammy. I will check that later. Nice to have a little bit of Coca-Cola money. Lulu, welcome. How good's this view, Lulu? Look, look. I'm all alone under the palm tree, trying to get over yesterday. I will get over yesterday, I'm not trying. I will get over yesterday. I knew it wasn't going to go right. Every single hurdle that's been put in front of me and I've knocked down and turned into a positive, another one pops up. And which brings me to these lovely locations, and we can spend them togetherness. If I was cooped up in a council flat, I probably would have jumped off the roof by now. Only joking. I'm stronger than that. Jesus. My goodness, God the good one. Praise the Lord. So welcoming. Say hello to God the good one, everybody. Subscribe to his channel. He's funny as P-H-U-C-K. He's from up north near Leeds, near Bradford and all those places. Welcome, sir, welcome. Yep, PayPal, I've taken off all the other, I don't encourage people to send super chat. YouTube, I don't know what they're doing. They're either being greedy or trying to, or they've lost a lot of advertisers. But the revenue from the AdSense, because I allow YouTube to put ads on my videos, right, has gone down by 66%. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I've taken off all the other different contribution methods, and I've only left PayPal now in my video descriptions. That's it now. Patreon, just hold on to the money until Christ knows when, and they take a percentage. If you send monies and you contribute to the channel, great. Do it via PayPal, because you haven't got my bank account details. But if you do it by PayPal and send it as a friend, I don't have to pay PayPal 3% commission either. There you go. Now I'll shut up about it. Thank you for the Coca-Cola money, Sammy S. Yes, thank you, God the good one. We're having a great view. Having your Weetabix. When I look up, that's what I see. And I thought, sod it, I'm going to sit down on the sandy beach today. I've already walked along that pier, all the way along Fisherman's Pier this morning. Yeah, YouTube making 20 billion in profit per year, that's right. Ghost Pepper, welcome. This beach is called Bang Saray Beach, and it goes on for a few miles. Actually changes name further down. You can see it just sort of cutting off and restarting again. It's called something else. But it's crystal clear water. When it's not wavy, you can see your feet and your knees, and you go in. You know how clean the water is when you go in the water up to your knee and you can still see your feet, right? That's a good test. Although I didn't really appreciate the sailors on the boats this morning emptying their what looked like their bowels out into the water. So yeah, we won't go into that, and I didn't video it either. that's right. Thank God I left sunny Wales, just in time. God the good one is having his Weetabix. Subscribe to him, he's funny, he wears a mask, you can never see his face. I was thinking of doing the same, but it's too hard here, too hot. Frasbo says he was meant to have his first visit to Pattaya during Songkran. Oh yeah, April. When do you think we're getting out there? Or you can get out here probably the end of July. I'm not sure though if the mandatory quarantine of 2 weeks will still be in place, so be careful. Keep in contact with all the relevant Thai contacts for updates. Don't try and get your updates from the third party or hearsay from Lulu. Can you send a message for me online to Miss TT until I'm not answering her phone calls because I'm live streaming? If you can do that for me, because I can't do it, I appreciate it. Can you acknowledge that, Lulu? So this is Bang Saray Beach, Ghost Pepper. It's 20 minutes south of Pattaya. By car. 30 minutes by motorbike. 4 Weetabix, oh my gosh. You're a growing lad. Soaks up all that beer. You're in sunny Scotland, Frasbo. Woo! Yeah. Did you get your refund, Frasbo, on your ticket? Did you pay for it? You see, Cambodia now are asking for $3,000 for a deposit. Thanks, Lulu. Ontario Productions. I'm not sure what you mean by that. What is the deposit for? Is that just for entry into their country? I don't know. I've not been watching the news much at all over the last couple of weeks. Over the last week, really. I've created the circumstances in which I'm not being affected by the news anymore. So I'm in a good place to survive. I did post some news on my Facebook page actually. When was that? Yesterday? Day before yesterday? To help people understand how safe we are here in comparison to other countries that are being affected by the recent events. Thailand had been confirmed as the second safest, I think this is the wording, don't quote me, second safest country in the world in terms of maintaining the spread and managing it the best in the whole of the world. I don't know who's in number 1 position, but Thailand are in number 2 with still less than 60 confirmed coronavirus deaths, standing at 58 in 6 months. The $3,000 is to pay for your 2-week quarantine. Cheeky swines. Well, if you come to Thailand when they allow international flights back in for tourists, in fact, on that point, there was a news article from Thailand, I think the Tourism Authority of Thailand, TAT. I think they're prioritising certain countries first. And believe it or not, China is one of them, along with I think Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and something like that. There's about 4 or 5 different countries. that will be granted international tourism flights back into Thailand. At the moment, anybody from around the world can fly back to Thailand if there's available flights. I believe only if you've got a work visa or you are a Thai national, both of which upon landing in Thailand you have to stay in quarantine, which you have to pay for, but they do give you a choice of hotels. There's a number of hotels that you can choose, quite a few in Pattaya, surprisingly not. Probably because there's so many hotels available right now, and it helps the tourist hub there, right? So I think they've repatriated almost all, if not all, of the Thai nationals that were stuck abroad. And I believe the next date is the end of this month, so beginning of next, for allowing certain countries to fly here. Apparently at the moment there's a weekly flight going out from Taiwan. It goes into Bangkok, EVA Air, Taiwanese airline. There's currently one flight a week going back to the UK. So they're obviously picking up people from the UK to warrant flying all that way. I think it's Taiwanese people. And the UK are second worst, right? China shouldn't be in any list. They have huge breakouts. I know, apparently there's so that's another snippet I did hear from somebody in the last couple of days, that they're having other breakouts again. What will they call that? Second wave? I don't know. What is a wave? Is a wave where it becomes a pandemic again, or is it, oh look, there are more cases than there were declining? Does that constitute it being a second wave? I don't know. Right now I feel as if I need to go on one of these boats, any boat, and go to a nice tropical island. Well, I feel as if I'm on one now, but actually, you know, when it's like turquoise, like the Maldives, or somewhere maybe like Phi Phi Islands or the similar islands, where it's just, you know, where the water's actually crystal forever. You never see any waves like this. These waves right now are, the tide is coming in, and also we've got a lovely breeze. That's what's causing this. I think we'll probably stay here until the battery runs out. I've got a little bit of a power bank with me. We can charge up. Yeah, it's nice. 7 people. I'll have to stream this time of day again. What you've got, Lulu, are people waking up in Europe and people staying up late in my biggest following, America. I think it's about 10 p.m, 11 p.m. in Los Angeles, but in Florida it's the same time as you at the moment, Lulu, in Canada, in Toronto area. Wow, Frasbo, that's good price. There are flights from the 1st of July for £380. I was planning 3 months, so wouldn't mind a 2-week quarantine. Frasbo, do it. Just do it. Keep your eye on, as I say, on confirmation of the flights coming in. I guess another good way of doing it, be careful of some of these airlines selling you flights on the basis they're doing it on a gamble and then have to refund you, but they'll probably just reschedule it, right? So check out their terms and conditions as well. In fact, the airline that I went with told me, Gulf Air this is, told me I have to go to my agent, my booking agent, for the refund. They're now, is it a week? They're a week overdue giving me the refund, so I've got to chase them up again. I sent them 3 emails last week and a message via their webpage. They actually asked me to chase them up after 4 weeks. Cami, welcome to the channel. Is it your first time? I am not on Pattaya Beach. I'm on a much better beach than Pattaya. Welcome to the channel. This is Bang Saray Beach, and as you can see, it extends quite a way round the bay. This beach is cleaned on a regular basis, and the water is crystal clear. You can see your feet at ankle depth, and you can see your legs, calves and feet and toes at knee depth, so you know the water here is very clear. It won't be right now because the tide's coming in and it's a bit windy, but it's a very clean beach. There's hardly any traffic. The most traffic on the sea here is from that pier where the boats go out for their day's fishing or their nighttime squid fishing. It's very protected from the mountains there, from big winds. But that's another reason why this is ever so clear. Main reason is there's a lot less traffic. So no, but Pattaya Beach is just beyond that peninsula over the other side. Pattaya, 30 minutes by motorbike, 20 minutes by car. There you go. Unless you're on a fast motorbike. Get there in 15 minutes, I reckon, if you were breaking the law. But the breeze is absolutely awesome. It's not too hot. I'm in the shade. This is my view if I look up at the sun. Just look at it. No, it's not important. It's not going to work. I'm not responding to her about it. I've talked enough about it already, Lulu. Worst week for drama this week. Don't threaten me, just do it. I don't play games. If I wanted to play games, I'll get a Scrabble up on my computer, if the computer worked. I really should be working on the computer. Once this battery dies on this phone, I'll have to make a meander back. I'm going to check PayPal out before the battery runs out though, later. Shout out to Sami for buying me a Coca-Cola for the sugar. I should be in bare feet. This knee is still a bit swollen. It's hot. Not from the sun. It's all puffy around here. I have got the look at those legs, they're like young oaks. That's Mickey Mau Mau. By the way, Mickey Mau Mau's got a new phone. We are rejoicing today. I forgot, we're rejoicing today. Mickey Mau Mau has got a new phone. He's now in contact with the rest of the world. I was very surprised he managed to work out how to use it. And he called me by mistake. Maybe he doesn't know how to use it. Cheers, Sami, yes, I appreciate that. You share as much love as you want this way. If you've got any requests, you know, I'm always looking for ideas, by the way, don't be shy. I do think out the box and try and do different things. We could go to Chile one day, and maybe interview the owner. We've not really spoken to her on camera. We've been in there a few times and filmed. Today we went in the park as well. I didn't do any streaming in there, but they've got the monkey traps out. They've got these traps to trap the monkey when they go in to investigate what's in the bag, and the door closes behind them. So I'm not sure if they're getting rid of the monkeys out of the park, or they are going to give them an MOT. I don't know. Maybe they're going to give them the once over and give them an injection up their bum, and then release them back into the park. Maybe they're going to take them somewhere else and drop them off, maybe on Monkey Island. But there's 3 of them in there, and they've got 2. I saw 2 of the traps that were out, but I didn't see any of the monkeys. Oh, I don't care if there's sand going in my trainers. I'm stretching out, people. See that knee, it's a bit difficult to see because there's different shading from the branches, but that one's a bit more knobblier, this one's puffier. In fact, there's a lot of bloody fluid or something all around here. It's definitely warmer, so I know it's repairing itself. It just feels like it's you know, when you've not stretched a muscle before or after you've worked out, that's what it feels like inside. There's no pain, but it's definitely repairing itself for it to be swollen like that, right? And wobbly. I wonder if I should I get a hot patch for it or a cold pack for it? Or is that really, does it really matter about the swelling? People put things on like hot and cold, like to reduce the swelling, right? But if it's not hurting, what's the point? The swelling's there for a reason, right? It's not causing any more problem. I should probably just sit up. I've done nearly 2 miles already walking today. I should maybe just rest up and maybe not walk so much on it. And should I put the brace on it? I don't know. I'm conscious that I was maybe putting it on there too tight. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. I've not really looked at when one should really use the brace. It's a bit naughty, really. Am I talking to myself? No, Lulu, I'm not seeing your messages, only on screen here. If you're sending me messages somewhere else, like, you know, be careful what you say, but we're live on the old live stream here. You can put messages on here, but they're the only messages I'm seeing. So let me scroll back. Yeah, you said something about putting money into my account. No, I'm not interested in any of that. Hot and cold is what you need. Why? I don't feel as if I need anything. Why are you saying hot and cold is what I need? Hot and cold therapy, like, I have got a freezer. I can make ice cubes and then put them in a towel so I can make cold. I've already been told off. No, you have to put, so she boiled the kettle, tipped boiling water all over the towel and placed that upon my leg, which bloody hurt, because you really have to let it cool down a bit. So she was already having a go at me about even suggesting to put something cold on it. So what do? Do you put something hot on it first and then something cold, or do you put something cold on it first and then something hot? And what's the purpose? It's just to reduce swelling. I'm not really bothered about reducing swelling, because swelling doesn't hurt. And it's not hurting me now, it's just trying to repair itself. I'm sure that's what it's doing. It just feels like, you know, like I said, an overstretched ligament that's wanting to get better. It just doesn't want me to use it. I don't use it to raise up on any of the stairs at the moment. I always use this leg to step up. Yeah, I'm ignoring the account stuff. That's crazy. Hot water, the hot and cold helps bring swelling and inside inflammation. It helps bring swelling. I know I've already got swelling, I don't need to help bring it. And it helps inside inflammation, yeah. But why, when you say help, it helps inflammation, what? Helps reduce it? But if it's not hurting, I needn't bother, right? It's swollen naturally for a reason, right? So why try and get rid of it? You know, it's not madly over swollen. I figure why try and reduce something that's happening naturally? That's my thing. If it was to reduce pain through hot and cold, yeah, that's fine, but I'm not in any pain, so I'm suggesting that I just leave it as it is, unless you say otherwise. Mum knows best. If only Mum was in the chat. Where is she? Lulu, you'll have to make do. You don't get many ladies on the live streams. I'm reasonably comfortable sitting here still. I'm feeling like a hobo because I haven't got any beach towel down. Is it beer o'clock yet? I love it. I've been given back 2,000 of the 3,500 I need, as if holding on to that 1,500 baht is going to make a difference. It's psychological. I've got 2,000 baht on me. I've been told I'm not to spend it. So why have I got it? If I wanted to play games, I would have brought Scrabble out. Right, we're going to try and concentrate and see if we can summon a UFO to come in. Reminds me, actually, I need to get the drone updated. We should be flying the drone. I want to fly the drone into the next electrical storm we have and be the first to live stream from within the storm and see how we get on. I think it's very worthy. I think it would go viral. So Lulu says, oh okay, sorry, brings swelling down. Of course, it's not swelling for a reason, it's swollen because it is an injury. You need that. It's always beer o'clock somewhere. Frasbo knows. Because you need 3.5 for a big reason. Yes, that's right. I've only been given 2. 1,000 yesterday and 1,000 today. I don't understand why. It's like a carrot. You burned your head yesterday when you were out. So Sami, in Finland, the midsummer party, which is the biggest party or summer party in Finland, where everybody celebrates midsummers. What actually happens? Do you have like community party, or is it just friends and family around, or do you go out? Do you have a certain drink or type of food that you have in Finland? Well, you can't, yeah, you got to go slip, slop, slap, as they say in Australia. Slip on a hat, slop on some cream, and put your flip-flops on, which they call thongs. I think it's something like that. And don't forget your sunnies, which are your sunglasses. That helps you keep cool. But my gosh, this is the best I felt on the beach here. Because last time I've only actually walked or fallen down onto the beach. So we're not far actually. Look, that restaurant there is almost packed to capacity with Thai people eating seafood. There's some money around this village, to be fair. There are people driving around in brand new Mercedes, BMW Z4s. I think those people that have been alright and made some good money have chosen a good location here to hang out in. When Team Thai-tastic members come back from Canada in the coming months, hopefully, then me and Thai-tastic team member number 6 will have to go out. We'll have to go on a fishing trip. Last time we did that on a boat together was 1979, and I caught the biggest fish on the boat, a conger eel, North Devon, 1979. And what song was out then by, what's her name, Diane Ward? Ring My Bell. How ironic is that, when all the bars here want you to ring their bells. Lulu, I knew it was an early morning for you. Enjoying yourself watching all this. Lulu, when you say why, you have to put the question, like elaborate, because I'm speaking all sorts, and by the time your question comes through, I've forgotten what I've spoken about. So when anybody is making reference to something I say, you have to make reference to it within your question. We make big fires on beaches, Sami says, in the mid-summers. Very good. Coco. Oh yeah, you've been, the closest you've been is Lapland. That's right. That's where Santa Claus lives. So all those that don't believe in Santa, you need to go to Lapland and prove it to yourself. It does actually exist. He's there with a lot of elves, a few helpers, and a couple of ho-ho-hos. No, that's Santa. That's Mickey Mau Mau as Santa in Pattaya and Jomtien. He's the Santa with a lot of ho-ho-hos. Are we still PG? Are we being funny? It's strange how one can want to stay in a room when you've got all this around you. Particularly if you are a little depressed, right? This is really good for the mind. I've said to a couple of people before, lockdown is only easier. I'm sure some people are crazy. They don't even know it. Yeah, I got 1,000 yesterday. There was the guiltiness of not being able to, because it was totally pretty much a wasted day yesterday, without going into detail. She wanted to speak to her friend on the beach. Go and speak to your friend on the beach. And the money from Sea Saran and whatnot all went into Capricorn Bank, and we've not really seen it, have we? So it's and mine went in there as well. So Capricorn are being overprotective of their customers' bank accounts and discourage them controlling it in the manner that their customers want to. Cheeky swines. So I was given 1,000 baht yesterday. I already had some on me, so that was spent. I used mine, the money that I had. Now I've just got that 1,000 from yesterday and another 1,000 today, and I'm going to bloody dip into it, and I think I'm going to buy a main meal for 20 baht, because there's a lovely lady up there and I know she will be selling out, because she sells out every day she makes them. She makes these little packs of tiny baby shrimp and is it sumai pork, that Chinese style marinated pork. Pad Thai moo, and I love that pad Thai, and it's so refreshing and tasty, and for 20 baht you can't go wrong, right? Which is what, nearly 60 pence for a meal. How about that steak? Who's watched the steak videos? Okay, we didn't have beef steak, we had fish steak and chicken steak. We did that yesterday, impromptu. It was so cheap, she couldn't resist it, I couldn't. Steaks starting at 59 baht with salad dressing, a few fries. We had 2 main meals, 2 steaks, 2 main meals, 2 soft drinks, a cantaloupe and soda water, and a bottle of Coca-Cola, which was only 15 baht. So in total the meal came to $5.77, or £4.56 or something like that. 178 baht total. Unbelievable. That is, and she confirmed it as well, that is the best value. I won't say the cheapest meal you can buy. It's the best value meal because of the quality of it and the size of it. So it's the best value for sure. So very happy with that. She wants to go again. Maybe Sami has put some Coca-Cola money to my PayPal address. That will pay for it because it's so cheap, and she will be over the moon if I took her there. Maybe even go there tonight, get some mosquito spray. I need to get mosquito spray. I woke up this morning, I'll look at the chat in a minute. I know I'm digressing, but when things come to my mind that I want to share. I woke up, there was no mosquito in the room all night, and I woke up this morning just, you know, stirring. Bloody hell, one bit me 8 times on the arm. I quickly grabbed hold of that talcum powder and spread it all on there, and within a couple of minutes it subsided. But how irritating, you know, when a mosquito gets you and it either wakes you up because it's so irritating, or you'll definitely never get back off to sleep. I've been awake since about 6:30 AM this morning, bright and breezy. I was shattered last night. I didn't stay awake very long at all. You're going out today to play with radio controlled cars and gimbals. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I used to have a radio controlled car. I always wanted a radio controlled aeroplane. Don't spend money for important stuff. Don't spend money for important stuff. No, spend it on stuff you don't need, right? What are you talking about? Don't spend money for important stuff. Just spend money on stuff to stay alive. That's what we're all doing right now. I can get my sticky rice for 5 baht, my noodles for 8 baht, and my tins of fish, mackerel, sardines, pilchards for 18 baht. The 2 best brands in Thailand for fish in a tin are Rosa, R-O-S-A, and the one with the picture of the 3 ladies on. They're the 2 best brands. There you go, so you know. There's not much about tinned fish I don't know about in Thailand. The steak was very good value. Very good value. Okay, so do you remember we did, I think it was a live stream to a temple that was closed. Or was that a couple of weeks ago? Anyway, it's one of the main roads going out of Bang Saray. So that main road where the big market is, the night market, and the new 7-Eleven, just keep walking up there, 10 minutes, that's what it is. Keep walking out of Bang Saray village centre, cross the roundabout, temples on your left, and then coming up on your right, that's where Lungjo Steakhouse is. I may have added steakhouse to the end, but that's what he focuses on. T-bone steaks for T-bone steak for £7. It's called Uncle Joe's, or Lung as they say. Uncle Joe's. It's only like one of those thrown up restaurants, but the curb appeal, you know, he's taken care of things, you know, it's clean looking. She was sold on it straight away with the curb appeal and the price, of course, so bang, we had to get in there and check it out. And all the menus are in English and in Thai, and you just write down the number of what dish you want, how many you want of that dish, and tick the other side. But we didn't know that, we just asked him, and then you just give him the menu, so you haven't even got to speak to them. You got cars and drones at the moment. Oh, right. Lulu says that would drive me crazy. The mosquito is my enemy. That's right. She's usually very good at catching them. I don't think she saw that one last night, and then it only came out to eat us in the morning. Big V Monday is better than anything else to spend money on. That's right. Yeah, Lulu, you must. I know you don't like seafood that much, but they do other meals as well if you wanted to sit above the water at night. And there's further piers and restaurants as well further along. And of course, not forgetting Bang Saray Beach Club, which is the only bar and restaurant with a swimming pool right on the beach. There's a pleasure cruise coming in. We've got the music going. Maybe they've had a trip out to the islands this morning. I'll turn the camera around in a moment. You'll be surprised actually how many people are in the sea. Look at this, look, I'll have to zoom in a bit so they don't look like dots. I think a lot of them are fishing for something. They go out, a lot of them with like hessian bags or netting bags, and they seem to be bending down and scooping stuff up. Nice dip in the pool to cool off. Indeed. Indeed. And the lounges, you know, when these places sometimes have those really cheap plastic white lounging chairs that split and you can catch your ass cheeks in it when you get back up because it closes on your skin. There isn't anything like that. There's none of this cheap furniture. It's so, you know, some places have really nice pools and accommodation, food, and they put out cheap furniture. He's got some really good, nice quality lounges as well as chairs there. Goes a long way. It's very well spoken, is the English gentleman that owns the place. I would say maybe private school, privately schooled in the UK. He pronounced his P's and Q's. I may even go as far to say he may have spoken the Queen's English. Okay, Lulu, good night. God bless. If you're into all that. I'll catch you when you wake up. Now, imagine you're here looking up. That's send you asleep. That's your view from your deck chair or your sun lounger. Top tip, choose a tree to sit under that hasn't got big coconuts ready to fall. 2 people die a year from falling coconuts in Koh Samui. Unconfirmed fact. Maybe that boat who's just dropped anchor is advertising for people with this music. The banana boat's ready. It's not very deep there, look. Look, only comes up to your knee. Oh, I think customers are coming off. So that's how you get on and off of that boat. You've got to wade through 30 meters of water to get to it. We've got plenty of water and we're not dehydrated, so we're doing good. Need to change bum cheeks though, sitting down here. Thank you, Lulu. Radio controlled car. The one I had was called, I think, Holiday Buggy. And I think it was the brand was Tamiya. Is that how you say it, Sami? Are you still there? That was the radio controlled car I had. Apparently it was quite a popular, even though I bought it second hand in the 80s, in the late 80s. I bought it second hand. I think it was called Holiday Buggy. Had like small wheels at the front and big wheels at the back. Caught it and half went fast. I'd say must be getting on for 30-40 miles an hour. I thought it was fast. Had a great signal distance. I remember you had to plug in these little transceivers into it. I can't remember. But yeah, then it's alright for fun, right? And then you can build a few ramps and whatnot. These people that race them professionally, my gosh, they are. The petrol ones, it's ridiculous, the speed. In fact, I did a video for some guy. He was chasing pigeons with him and his mate with a remote control cars. And I made him a promotional video for his channel. He was looking for somebody to do all the editing for him, but young whippersnapper, full of enthusiasm for 5 minutes, and then he didn't want to do anything else. Now I'm lying down on my side. I'm enjoying it. Lying down in these lovely shorts. These are very cool. They actually don't fit me anymore. If I stood up too quickly, they would fall down. I need them taken in a couple of inches. Just so you know, as if I haven't told you enough already, I've lost nearly 4 stone in 3 months. In less than 3 months. It's unbelievable. Tamiya is one of the big players. Yeah, right. They have a massive range. And you can pay like thousands as well now for their vehicles, right? Oh, rock crawlers. So you're into... are they? Yeah, so they're going to be like 4-wheel drive, sometimes big wheels and all that, and that go over any terrain made of rock. And do they also, like, if they flip over, they can carry on going forward, because it doesn't matter if they're upside down or not? Or have you got actually like vehicle looking rather than robot? Sometimes they have those as toys, don't they, where they go up staircases and that. If they flip over, they can carry on, you know, you haven't got to keep picking them up, turning them back over. And do you have petrol ones as well, or do you have just electric battery? Can't even remember the voltage now. Was it 12.5 volt batteries that you used to have? I can't remember. It used to be fun, actually. I used to enjoy it, and you like maintaining it, cleaning it. And then you've got independent suspension on each wheel and that. You see the professionals all set up at these racing. They've got their own little garage on their tables that they fold out. Loads of spare parts. They've got their little squeezy bottle for putting in the fuel into their little engines. Oh, they're copies of real cars. Electrics are the way to go. But yeah, especially with the price of electronics coming down massively in the last 30 years. I always fancied as well, like maybe a helicopter, but then I thought, my gosh, the controls for some of these helicopters are ridiculous, and you have to tie them down first to practice so you don't flip it and write it off. Then the drones came out, of course, which I acquired one a few years ago. Must be about 3 years ago now. Or was it 2 years ago? Anyway, I got a drone. Oh, and how easy is that to fly? I did try and update it the other day, by the way, and it wasn't having any of it. I've got to work out. There's a certain way you have to update the drone. Firmware. I updated the no-fly zone because it has a built-in no-fly zone. If it gets too close to an airport, it just won't fly into that area, which is great. They've got shocks, springs, lockable hubs. That's right. Just like, yeah, I remember there used to be like a main thing for the wheel. You used to have this little tool to tighten it. Little spanner or whatever it's called. Locking wheel nuts. Dust and sand was its enemy though. Oh my god, car alarm music in the background. Someone destroying the tranquility of these lovely surroundings. I hope I don't get how awful would it be to get a copyright notice for this type of music? That bass, my gosh. I think there's two vehicles competing with each other. Maybe they're hard of hearing and they need it loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that bass. Yeah, I think we'll see. Definitely remixes of something. That's got some serious woofers in the back of his truck. about 50, 60, 70 feet away. If I had a truck though, I'd end up doing something like that. It will never grow out of me, I must confess. I love my music. It has to be quality equipment. It'd be great if his Bluetooth was on and I live streamed some music to it. Here's a fun thing to do, Sammy. Next time you're in a department store that's got loads of electrical equipment, put your phone on, find a funny video or music or some sort of sounds. Even I do this because the kid in me will never come out. It will never go away. Schoolboy antics. Turn your Bluetooth on and then connect to any device you can find in this department store and start playing sound effects or your favourite tunes and turn it up loud. And then watch them all run around trying to work out where it's coming from so they can switch it off. And then once they do that, just connect to another one. I do that in Tukkom sometimes. It's so funny. You have to be there. Pimped out taxi, it could be. I videoed one on Beach Road in Pattaya. I think this is the money shot. We've got the sand, we've got the mountains, we've got the sky, we've got the blue sea, and we've got the palm tree. Yeah, it's a good crack, Sammy. You might as well do it. You've got to do it. For the giggle. There's another thing I do as well. I've not told too many people about this. How many are in the chat? Maybe a couple of you. There's 5 of you watching. You can also live stream as well to people's TVs because they haven't got the security switched on. Try that, that's funny as well. So find a funny video and live stream it to the TVs. These smart TVs, not everybody activates the security on them. You know when computers first came, was it computers or phones? I forget now. Everybody had like a default, right? I think it was people's voicemail, that was it. Now you can't get to people's voicemail so easily. That's what people used to do to hack people's voicemail because no one ever reset their voicemail message. Security, password. To eat today. I was going to fast today. I've already eaten 2 thumb-sized bananas today. Oh, that was the other story this morning. I just had it in the back of my mind. Maybe I should be checking these bunches of bananas that we buy. All sorts of critters hide out in bunches of bananas, right? Spiders, all sorts. And I saw all these black, what looked like, I was hoping it wasn't going to be a mouse droppings in the bag. I thought, no, they're not quite the size of mouse droppings, and they're too rounded and very dark. There's only a bloody caterpillar pooping all over my fruit, and it had already eaten through the skin of a banana, was eating the banana through that, and it was just merrily lying down on this banana of mine, pooping everywhere. And it was one of those caterpillars you just don't want to touch on your skin because it'll give you a nasty rash. So that got thrown out the window. And the rest of the bananas was scrutinised for any other critters. So I have to remember that in future. All bananas are going to get put in the shower first and rinsed thoroughly. You tape up the webcam on the TVs, right? Good idea. Yeah, in hotels. Next door neighbours watching. Yeah, in Saran Resort, if my Wi-Fi was a bit slow because there was a few of us on the old router, I just connected to the neighbouring one because the password was just the bloody room number. Ridiculous. I think I just put Miss Titastic actually on the neighbouring one in the end, but she was just using the neighbour's Wi-Fi and I was using, so I had the one in my room all to myself. It only takes a couple of you to be on the same router and then bang, you can like easily half your speeds, even though that you know, they're not doing anything that's so taxing on the old is it broadband? Broadband. I can't even think of the word for it now. Your bandwidth. Reducing the bandwidth, I think it's called. I don't know. Anyway, it reduces the speed, doesn't it? I digress. If I put my mind on it, I've said this before, I could have, I don't know how I would do it. I have a boat, even if it's maybe a little day cruiser like that, just to go plodding out there and do some fishing. That would be nice. I wonder how much a boat is. I'm going to have to look into it. Put it on the bucket list. Tide's still coming in, by the way. Oh, excuse me, that's me because I'm lying down on my side. I wonder if I should try and have a little bit of a snooze on the beach. It's the weather for it. Look, it's clouding over a bit, which is nice, so it's not so hot. Small old boats are cheap, yeah. As long as they're well maintained, right? You don't want to be spending money out on it every bleeding month. But maybe something like that. Even something like that, you know, you could get maybe what, 4 people on it comfortably. Couple of freezer boxes full of beers and soft drink. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Live stream deep sea fishing. The only thing is with one of those, of course, is the hull on it is going to be so shallow, it's going to be rocking all over the place. You really need a calm day to be going out on one of them. You don't want to be rocking around too much. It becomes unpleasurable, doesn't it? So maybe start off with a boat that size. A bit more comfortable. So you can go out on it more often and for longer. What do you get? An aluminium hulled one or fiberglass? What would you recommend? I'm thinking the aluminium one would last longer, but aluminium does corrode as well. Pair of shoes. Or would a fiberglass one need more maintenance? I don't know. So would you go for wood? Or do you have one with a sneaky cabin? So if you did have a bit of a downpour, maybe something with a little cabin on the front, so you could drop anchor. Oh, you recommend the one with a small cabin? There we go. I think so. It's a good idea, right? So you can weather out a bit of a storm. If you see the rain coming in and you know it's not going to be choppy, at least you can shelter better in one of those. Maybe have a kip. Drop anchor and have a kip with the missus. 4,000 euros bought one. Did he? Right. No, I don't know much about boats. I say I don't. I tell you, there's a company based in, is it Portsmouth or Southampton in the UK? I'm sure you would have heard of those places on the south coast. I think it's Southampton. Yeah. Sunseeker. Look up Sunseeker. Oh my gosh. Oh. Look up, I think it's Sunseeker 150. My gosh. And you can have it like James Bond style, stealthy looking. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of those boat companies that, you know, will outfit it for you to your requirements, but they have a standard set of a range of boats, yachts, and Sunseeker. Yeah, very impressed with the style, the design of those. I did fall in love with us. I even nearly travelled once down to the boat show just so I could get myself on one and have a wander around and think, yeah, if I was a multi-millionaire, I could see myself with one of these. They don't pay, they just suck your money. Mooring fees, maintenance, staff. So you've got to make sure you're not having to pay for it. Make sure your assets are paying for it. Look, right on cue, Sami. That could be the boat you were thinking of. Just coming into shot. It's the law of attraction there. Whatever you think about enough will come into your life, and there it is. That could be the size and one. We'll do a screenshot of that later and find out how much it is. What do you think? We can have a Yamaha 40 horsepower outboard on the back, or Evinrude. Evinrude is very big in the States. The boatyard is only up the road from all your maintenance needs. I don't know how often these engines need maintaining, but that would do, wouldn't it? Something like that. See how he's got the propeller tilted, got the engine tilted back towards him, so the propeller is pointing up in the air. That way it stops it, it's quite shallow where he is, stops it snagging or hitting the ground. That's why sometimes you hear them when they're pulling away from the beach. They're quite noisy, and that's because the propeller's flipping through the water, and it's not fully submerged. Yeah, we got it, Sami. That's the one, right? 30,000 euros and up. Yeah, in Europe or here. I'll bet you they're dead cheap here. I've looked into always wanting to learn something new. I'm working on something at the moment, but like he's just dropped anchor there. There's a sea school only 10 minutes away. There's a sea school up here that give you the UHF training, skippering and all that, and they go out on the high seas and they teach you, and you stay out overnight on board. It's a 10-day course for the whole course, for all of the courses as well, including the classroom bits and that. And it's £1,700 in total. It's funny because their Facebook page, when they do their adverts, it's always got ladies in bikinis, and sometimes comments like, ladies are attracted to people with boats, like really trying to use ladies in bikinis to sell their courses. It's funny. You had to be there. All these boats that we're talking about with these little cabins now are pulling up. Look, there's another one. How weird is that? I think we could get out on one of these, you know. They seem to have some sort of phone number on it and that. It's another life when you're working with people that work on the sea, I tell you. I did it for 6 months in Thailand. It's another league and attitude of people that work on the seas. Very calming, relaxed, very fit people, because they're always hauling stuff on and off the boat, and sometimes they've even, because the anchor could get stuck, you even have to dive down and try and release the anchor. That happened on the boat that we were working on before. People had to don their, instructors would don their scuba diving gear and go down and try and release the anchor. But that can suddenly, because it's under strain from the rope or chain, it can suddenly release itself, and blooming hell, the blades of it can go right through you. So he was very careful not to be doing that too often, and making sure he was trying to break the anchor free from whatever it was connected to by standing behind it. And it's difficult when you've got your weight belt and tank on your back and your fins. Sometimes he had to take these fins off and stick his feet in the ground and try and wiggle the anchor free. It's crazy, isn't it? The things we've done on the old fisherman stories. One time we had to you'll get a caravan first if you win the lottery. Keep playing the lottery. If you oh yeah, so we were pulling, I've got a story. So we'd pull up at this site, I think it was called Sail Rock. So it's a dive site. There was this rock that's just protruding up out in the middle of nowhere in the Gulf, right? And it's called Sail Rock. You can look it up. There's a dive site near Koh Samui and Koh Tao. It's called Sail Rock, and in fact I think it's the Thai Army or Navy rather, or Air Force would use it as target practice, and you'd find sometimes shells at the base of this rock. Anyway, we're scuba diving, we pull up, we're scuba diving down there, and sometimes we see these huge nets, cages, huge cages, like 20 foot by 10 foot cages, and they're traps for fish to go in, right? Because the fishermen knew we were diving there, they knew there was fish there, so they thought, oh okay, we'll drop our cages down here, then there would be 2 or 3 cages, not many. And as we'd see that, and as scuba divers we'd go down, and because they were not locked with any particular lock, it's just like a metal coat hanger to close it, right? So we'd unlock it and open the door right open, and then we'd scuba dive inside the cage, and we'd shepherd all the fish out. They're all trapped in there, like fish that you wouldn't typically eat or see on the menu in any case, like butterfly fish, and you know, some really nice fish that managed to get into these cages, and obviously there's no way out for them, they can't work it out how to get out. So they'd have all these fish, so we'd go in, open the door wide open, and then make sure it couldn't close again, and shepherd all the fish out. And of course the fishermen didn't like that, so when they're hauling these cages back onto their boat, they see that we've opened up, and they're not even supposed to be dropping the bloody cages, these traps, in these areas where it's, you know, of natural beauty, and where scuba divers go with customers, you know, for the economy of Thailand and all that. But so that what they would do, we had a bow line where we would connect to, so because we're not dropping anchor and ruining the coral and rocks, we would, when they came after we'd left to check their cages, haul it up, and then realise, hold on a minute, we've been had here, so it's a wasted journey then. So they would cut our bow lines, so the buoy will no longer exist. So when we arrived next time, there was just nothing to connect to. So that went on a few times. Funny memories. We freed Willie. We did. power bank is now empty, I think. I'll just check it. So I can't charge the phone anymore. I don't know what percentage of the phone's left, but we'll carry on going. I'll have to get some more drink later. It's only a small one I'm using today. It sometimes doesn't even give you a full charge. But we've got a little bit more of a boost out of it. Someone's setting up a barbecue next to me. I don't know when they're going to light it up, but it's going to make me pretty peckish once they do. I'll have to go and get my 20 baht pad thai guy. Pad thai moo. They're out on the banana boat now. Yeah, because where all these boats are pulling up, of course, they're probably all part of the Fisherman's Club, where you can hire these boats, I'm sure. Go out. That guy there, he's got a scuba diving flag t-shirt on, so I suspect these help people go scuba diving. You'd have to go off of that boat. Probably the safest way is to go off it backwards. You do a backwards roll into the ocean, and then when you come back up, you take your fins off, hand it over to them, they'll drop a ladder down the side, and then you climb back on board. And if you're not fit enough, like some people weren't, you have to take all your equipment off as well, like your weight belt and your tank and BCD, and pass it up to them. Very good. Yeah, something like that would be okay, wouldn't it? Have to find out how much they are, maybe put it on the bucket list. So there's cost of buying, cost of maintenance, cost of mooring, and maybe some other taxes as well. But you would never go hungry, would you, if you had a boat? Imagine the fish that you could buy and sell, having caught them. What a diet that would be, living off the sea. One day we'll have to go down and chat with them. I'm not in a chatty mood with the locals at the moment, but I bet they speak good English for the tourism. Barbecue, getting their barbecue ready there. Whoa, my legs are going red. I think I need to find some more shade. The sun's coming round and attacking me. Trying to think where I could go actually and get a charger. Yeah, Sami, we've done it. It's definitely one of these boats, so we've got to get one of these. And if you've got some friends, you could easily get two or three friends on there as well. Maybe that one, that looks as if it's longer. Maybe that's more appropriate, that one over there. This one's not so long. Oh, there was another time where, have you heard of salvage rights? So if you There's a thing in maritime, I think it's international. Is it an international law? Maritime law? Salvage rights. So if you find a boat that's sunk or out at sea adrift, you've got the right to ownership of that boat. It's your property. Well, we came across one. It was like a ghost ship. We towed it all the way back to port. You don't know who owns it, do you? You have to be careful out here. Or co-owns it. I think it was given back. I'm not sure if a reward was given, but it was definitely adrift. Christ knows how it became adrift. There was no one on the boat at all. It was really weird to see a boat of similar size to yours. How big was our boat? Can't even remember now. 15, 20 meters long. Anyway, it was a similar size, and it took a while for us to get back to port. I think it was Naton Pier, Nathon. In Naton, which is the northern part of Koh Samui, it's the main pier. That's where we used to go off most days if the weather was good for scuba diving. But yeah, we towed this boat all the way back. It was weird. It was weird seeing it adrift at sea with nobody on it, no engines going or anything. I bet somebody was released it maliciously, or someone must have had their knuckles wrapped after not tying it up properly. Right, batteries down, batteries percent. Yeah, 8 people. Yeah, I'm just thinking comfortably low. If you were out all day on it and you don't want to be sitting on top of each other, so they're good, yeah, to have a load of people on it if you're going somewhere and then getting off. But if you're going to be on it all day and you've got your supplies as well, your fishing rods, at least 4 cases of beer, right? At least 4 cases of beer, plus your water. Or have water as well. Make the effort. Yeah, to move about a bit, right? If you're going to have a pee, you just have a pee overboard, right? I don't think there's going to be a head in those little boats. Maybe there's a little portaloo. Make sure everybody's done your number 2 before you get on board. It was a runaway boat. It was weird. A couple of stories come to mind when I'm talking about things like this. One dive shop left a customer at Sail Rock, so this customer was getting exposed to the elements because the dive master didn't check the roster properly and left a customer at the dive site and went back. Can you believe it? That was bad. That should have cost them at least their job, but I think they kept their job. I don't think the customer took it very lightly, so the dive master was very lucky. But that's a story. I'm just trying to think what diving company it was. Maybe I shouldn't say. I think they still exist. It was a German owned company, or co-owned German company in Koh Samui. Their name comes to mind, but I'm not going to mention them. I'm sure they're still in operation. Don't want to get done for defamation. Not in Thailand. Even if I am correct, it's still defamation. Right. Sami, I'm afraid I need these 20% I've got to do some chores on my phone, so I'm going to have to bid you farewell until I charge up again. Thank you so much for your Coca-Cola money. I'm going to look at that next and go and spend it, and I'm also going to see if I can get my phone charged up somewhere and do some other chores. So thank you guys, thank you Defro for popping by and back and forth, etc., and appreciate it. Take it easy, and bye bye, see you soon.